If he doesn't want to show you his test results, leave him. If she doesn't want to show you her test results, leave her. Hey beautiful souls, it's your girl Lavatia, and today's episode is all about sexual health, disclosing your status, finding out about your status, and all of the above. In recent news, there has been a young woman who I think was titled like an Instagram model or a content creator. She came out by saying that she was diagnosed with AIDS. And just to clarify, you always start off with HIV first, and then as it progresses, it can transition to AIDS. But she did admit that because she hadn't gotten tested the way that she needed to, that it had just progressed to AIDS, and now she's just kind of in a rehabilitation phase. Now, one thing that I don't like about the situation is that people are literally actively trying to pin her with celebrities and then throw all of them under the bus. I'm not going to use that young lady as an example for this video, but I do just think it is prominent to talk about it because she's not alone in the situation, and it's not okay to stigmatize her, because this is actually a lot of people out there, and this is actually a lot of us, and I'm really grateful for her story. Now, I've had so many conversations with friends about why I ask for people's STD results, and they know why, but they are also just like, I get it, but like, how are you having sex? And I'm like, I'm not. I am not, because people just don't want to get tested. And at this point, although at one point I really was in a judgmental phase, I have decided to switch that to more compassion, because I really do think that it is a place of fear. Now, I'm still pissed. Don't get me wrong. I'm still pissed at the people who are adamantly not getting tested, because you are putting people's lives at risk. But I am working on changing that to be compassion, because I can't imagine the fear. And again, it's just about choices that you have to make. So I've done a lot of STD work on my TikTok and really told y'all about the symptoms and things of that sort and how to know if you have certain things. But as much as you'd like to use TikTok and Google as a way to like know what your sexual health status is, you need to just go get tested, right? Now, for those of you who don't get tested or have never been tested before or are just a little bit nervous about what it is, I can share my experiences. So my most recent experience, I got an HIV test, and for the last couple of years, the majority of the HIV tests that I've gotten have been finger pricks. So they'll literally like stick something in your finger. It's like a little tiny, they'll just like put a little capsule thing on, and then they'll take some blood, and then they'll kind of like put it in a little bit of a like petri dish, I guess. That's not a good example, but my point is that it's a very quick and easy thing. I am not a fan of pain, so I definitely would have found a way to get it done orally, and I have had oral at-home HIV tests done as well. Now, I don't want to get this mixed up, but I think that my syphilis test was done through my blood, and then I got an oral and urine test for my gonorrhea and chlamydia. So literally just peed in the cup, and then also had to swab my mouth. The only thing I didn't like about when I got my test done at this one place in my state was that they definitely, he was like, oh, make yourself gag, and that's how you know that you got it all the way to the back of your mouth. I'm not a fan of gagging. So that was probably like the most traumatic thing that I experienced there, but that was just with them. Like, I went back again, and I didn't have to do all that. So just, if you ever feel uncomfortable when you're getting tested, speak up. Fuck how the other person is going to feel. Who do you want to feel more uncomfortable, you or the other person in the room that's making you feel uncomfortable? So that's definitely a tidbit for you. Again, there are also at-home tests that you can take. I actually have one, an at-home HIV test, and a bag of condoms. Depending on what state you live in, they can actually send you free HIV tests for you to take at home. And again, if you ever need help with contraceptives or condoms or anything like that, then there are resources to be able to help you with that. Google is a great resource for that, but I'd like to just dish out some sources for you once I find them. But again, they're state by state. Now back to this young lady. The reason why her HIV progressed to AIDS was because she literally just wasn't getting tested. And you are supposed to get tested every 3 months if you are actively having sex. The way that I do it is after my partner. So it's been different because when I have a partner who gets tested, I don't have to quite do this as often. But when I have a partner and I have a moment, which I don't like to allow myself to have, but I have because I'm human, I definitely go get tested right afterwards. So, and then it's hard because then say that you have 2 to 3 people that you've had sex with within these last 2 weeks. You don't know who you got what from. And that can also be devastating as well, I'm sure. I've never experienced it, but these are people's stories. I said this when everything was like COVID was happening and people were like, you have to try to protect other people. This is not about you. This is about other people. And when I tried to say that about sex, I get this like eerie feeling of to why people can't really see the correlation between the two. Like when you get tested, yes, you're not only getting tested for yourself, but you're also getting tested for other partners out there. And you can really have some detrimental impacts on people's lives when you're not taking care of yourself. With that being said, we are all on this earth for a certain period of time, and we might as well live that life to be as happy and as healthy as possible. And if we are not in the healthiest space, it's okay, but it is great to get diagnosed from that unhealthy thing so that you can see what you can do to get yourself back to a healthier place. As much as they've tried to make it seem like HIV or AIDS is a death sentence, there are so many people living with HIV and living with AIDS that are really like, I'm sure surpassing anything that science could have ever proven. So we are in a new day and age. Nothing that you have can get detrimental if you don't take care of it, but it doesn't have to be life ending. So I just want you to know that there are safe spaces. There are groups for people who have contracted STDs and STIs and just need that support. But there are so many people online who are breaking these stigmas and removing shame. And I would just like to be a safe space for that and be able to let y'all know that it's okay to get tested. It's okay to be safe. It's okay to have these conversations with a partner. And all you might feel is a little bit uncomfortable during all of this. When you get tested, you might feel a little bit nervous and awkward. And when you're talking to your partner about it, you might get nervous and awkward, but that passes, okay? So I love you so much. I thank you so much for listening. Please give yourself a big hug for me. Ooh, that was a good one. And then I'd like for you to be kind to yourself and be kind to animals. I love you so much.